everyone.
Good evening and welcome.
We are here to watch The Shape of Things to Come. This was the first thing we released when we came back after our 6-year hiatus.
Yeah, something like that. Must have been at least 6 years. Yeah.
After me particularly gave up hope on ever kind of continuing. And I just had this...
He lost his mojo.
Yeah, and this was just after COVID, really, like 2023, and I just kind of thought, I've got the footage of essentially 2 films sitting on my hard drive, and I wanted to do something with it, so I kind of made this almost promo reel short film to kind of show you where the trajectory of the series was going to go, and obviously
as the title suggests, and it's a preview,
and it's also, we'd been watching a lot of Battlestar Galactica as well at the time, and that, it's a lot of influence of Battlestar in the first place, but the title specifically was to kind of like show you the shape of things to come for this world. So without further ado,
we'll get on with it.
Let's get on with it. So here goes The Shape of Things to Come. So what I did here was, you've got the heartbeats kind of almost flashing back to like previous events while these 2 kind of main fights are going on, because I always envisioned the fight between Andrew and Jeffrey and the fight with Seth against the suits happening around about the same time. They're not. The Seth fight's happening a bit earlier, and obviously there's Fred, there's Andrew, and we're getting key figures showing up in these heartbeat scenes, like key figures to essentially, in our minds, when we get to the scene, key figures in Jack's life. What would you think about what we're seeing so far?
Well, introducing a lot of new characters, and you're reminding people of what's happened before, so that you've got someone to go forward to.
Yeah, because what you got to remember, at this point we'd only released the first 5 short films. We released Object, Fear Inside, Epilogue, Frost, and You Know What I Like. There was no Businessman yet, and there was no Object Legacy yet. So this was kind of like a very quickly rough, around the edges kind of catch up,
which in fact ended up longer than it was supposed to be, really. And which most of your things do.
And obviously we have Robin doing the narration for the beginning of the film to show you, yes, we are still in that time period where Jack is being interrogated by this mysterious Nathaniel character, and there he is, Nathaniel, facing off against Seth. I love this fight. It's still one of my favourite fights ever shot. Just that angle as well, specifically where it's spinning and they're
using
fighting.
the headlights as lighting for this,
and obviously
the car engine running.
And obviously you will see a lot more of this fight when we get to it in Object Legacy. This was essentially to show you the cliff notes of what was to happen, and the very important Frost or
clip,
or of what's going on. And only 5 people will be able to stop it. I wonder what Frost means by that.
I wonder.
And there we go, Anthology. This was after the rebrand. It wasn't the Object Saga anymore, the Object Verse Saga. I wanted something clear to go, this is a world where many stories can be told, and while this saga is very interlinked, after this it's going to expand out quite a lot, and we're going to have stories that are very standalone. We're going to have obviously the main storyline with the warriors going on, but that is where I wanted to go with, and Anthology kind of symbolised that. So here we go, the West Sussex incident. Jeff destroying
the object,
as we believe, kind of resetting the timeline, so to speak, to get the brief glimpse of the beast, which we'll see a bit more of in the Object Legacy. And then we get a very, very quick version of Reality Shift, because again, this is much longer in Object Legacy as well. We've got a lot more interactions in here.
Everything's changed.
Yes,
basically.
Yes. So I'm
still alive.
Yeah, well, you are alive again now.
Yeah, alive again.
And obviously Jeff's woken up,
and he doesn't know what the hell's gone on, because he doesn't have the ability
Oh no, he does, because he's held the object.
Oh, right.
Anybody that holds the object and is connected to it has that power as well. And
you are no longer in a wheelchair,
Yes.
but you're still slightly disabled with a...
I've got a limp at the point, but it's healing. But again, these are things that aren't really established at this point, because we'd only got the short films as a basis.
Yeah.
This was
So these are clips that are going to be used.
Yes, this is very much a cliff notes of, because you've got to remember, in my mentality, this could have been it. Like, it had been 6 years, we hadn't released anything, so I thought, let's just edit something that looks epic, and I wanted to kind of cliff note it off, a bit like what I planned to do with Doctor Who. And it wasn't until after this and the response to it that I thought, you know what, let's go back, let's finish off the businessman, let's finish off the object legacy, and maybe do a few more along the way. And there's
look, mummy!
and this is obviously the whole Myers family together again.
Yeah.
What am I always want to play?
You're the youngest.
Every time.
I love the difference between Harvey and Elliott. Like, Elliott's very much a scene stealer, whereas Harvey is very much more subdued. He's much more... I know this sounds really weird, considering both me and Elliott went to drama and Harvey didn't, but he's a very much more nuanced actor when it comes to just simple emotions on his face. And here we go, is the famous diner scene. And we don't get any dialogue for this, because I wanted to save it for the main featurette. We just cut straight to the end of it with the cheering. And here we go to the main event. This is really what I wanted to show off with this film. The what I wanted to get to, the Warriors storyline. What we've seen so far is just getting us to this point,
building up to it,
to get to the reveal. And this is what made me change the opening.
This is my reveal as a warrior,
and this is why I changed the opening of the Object Legacy as well, because people have seen this now. People don't not know about you being a warrior. So now I can use that knowledge of people knowing that this has happened, that you are now a warrior. We can now flash back a lot of times.
And here we go with me being Seth's former boss.
Yes, because you were essentially the leader of Team Echo.
Is this the bit where I say, oh, I'm getting a bit old for this now?
Yes. Now this conversation is pretty much intact, because I wanted to show off the Warriors as much as possible, because as I've mentioned hundreds and hundreds of times, Warriors is my dream project. I've always wanted to focus on this group. So the main idea of this short film was to get to that point, of teasing it. I mean, even the to be continued at the end is to be continued in Warriors.
I did think about it.
And Paul was inspired casting, really, because a little bit of trivia here with Seth. Seth originally started off in Warriors in a flashback scene. He was always supposed to be the Echo team leader before someone else in that storyline that we'll get to eventually, but he was supposed to be a one and done character. He was supposed to appear in a couple of scenes and then get killed off. And then when I was developing these films to be more prequels to that, I thought, let's bring this Seth character in and establish him. And I was originally envisioning someone a little bit older, about maybe 40s instead of 30s, but as soon as Paul went into the role, I completely reinvented the role, and I thought he'd work perfectly for it, and it became this brand new origin for this character.
This is where you've got your strength now, isn't it?
Yes, this is my full beginning to the journey, and obviously a little bit of trivia. Obviously, it's you playing the
thug. Of course it is.
Again, when we're coming to the ADR of Object Legacy, this scene will appear in Object Legacy.
All the extras in this.
Yes, and that's where
apart from when I'm by myself,
and that's where the voice actors will come in when we do the actual proper cut of this, because hopefully we'll have a new score for it, new ADR, new colour grading. Now, obviously this is all hope, it's not ambition, but you know, it's something that, looking at this now, I can go, there's issues with this. Obviously the audio is a bit of an issue on this. When you're filming on the beach, it's always a bit of an issue, but this scene's very important. Obviously,
we're going to do some dubbing on this.
You've done your dubbing on this already.
Well, I'm too old for this.
Oh yes, I have.
Yeah.
But you haven't edited it yet, obviously.
No, I haven't put any of the ADR onto the actual footage yet.
And the scene after this happens straight away in another film, doesn't it?
Yes, and that was part of the reshoots because to go very light spoilers on Object Legacy. Object Legacy now begins after Shape of Things to Come, essentially, and then, like The Businessman, it's a bit of a flashback film.
Yeah.
So, the Object Legacy.
I always think this is a really spooky picture.
I want the reveal of the object being on the beach.
I love it. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I know. Because I always envisioned it being on the beach, and there was supposed to be a couple walking towards it originally, and that may or may not happen in certain reshoots. And now we have the 1 year time jump.
1 year later,
And just like Carl, Jack may have had a transformation in a year as well, which we may see some of this transformation.
This is your famous
in Final Report. You love this shot.
Famous
with
shot,
the light,
yeah.
The overexposure on it. I like this shot as well. The bladed out, with me being dragged through
slowly
the hallway.
coming into focus.
And ironically, again, that's you and Paul dragging me there. Because I think we were waiting for Mark, weren't we, to do the bit where they're coming down the hallway to rescue me.
Yeah.
So we were like, let's grab this shot. This is obviously the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I think this shot has been meant to be colour graded for ages, and I think this is one of the few times it's not colour graded. But now it is colour graded in the Object Legacy.
All right.
Because the Object Legacy, before we had to cut a load of stuff because actors couldn't come back, was going to be structured into 3 chapters essentially.
Is this the bit before Robin was cast for this part?
No. That was The Businessman. This is Object Legacy footage.
But it's still me at the beginning, isn't it?
Yeah. You're supposed to be the person to the side.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
That footage is still you there.
Yeah.
And now it's Robin dubbing over, but until he kneels down, it's you, yes.
Yeah.
So you're technically the guy to the side, and Robin. But here's obviously Robin now.
Yeah.
The
Which was
master
cut in.
infiltrator, yeah. And again, that's all thanks to you, really, because you worked with him previously, and you're like, I know a guy that likes to act, and that was it straight away. A friendship was born straight away there. Like you and me both gone with this, and I love this slow-mo shot of the team coming in
to rescue you, but you don't need rescuing in the end because you've already escaped.
Well, I'm pseudo escaping at the moment, you know.
That's me again. You can tell by my body.
And again, these are hopefully scenes that are going to be redubbed over
with a different voice.
With different voices, because you can get away with you playing doubles if you don't see your face,
and if you don't hear the voice.
Yeah, if you don't hear the voice, unless you're a very, very talented voice actor, like say for instance Elliott and Harvey, that you can really change your voice. It is very hard to throw your voice off that way. Like even when I'm doing an American accent that's a very poor one, but you can still tell it's me, if you know what I mean. Like, and that's where he sees the gun. Just this slow intimidation. I love that dusting. That was inspired as well.
I love the dust.
And what was interesting about this and that was we'd actually done this bit first, I think, before we had Robin come into the office to meet Jack. So even though he says, I thought you'd be taller and all that, it's ironic because they've actually technically met already. And this is obviously the bedding feud, and you think he's dead, he's been shot in the eye, blood squirted everywhere.
But he's a vampire, so he's not dead, basically.
Essentially, yeah. And here we have Jonathan.
Oh, I love this scene,
Jonathan just aimlessly walking home.
And he bumps into the person that's supposed to be dead.
The only person left that's supposed to be dead, yes. Carl.
Exactly.
And as I said, most of these scenes are intact from Object Legacy. They will be in Object Legacies, they are. Just with more context, if that makes sense.
And this is Emmy's cameo.
Yeah, but this scene is essentially setting up Warriors. Like, with at the beginning of Warriors, we have Carl ruling an empire of vampires with Jonathan as his familiar.
Yeah, I know.
So we are literally teetering on the edge of already setting up that storyline. And while we do move to America with that storyline,
he looks a bit comic there, I think.
I just love all love the excessive fake blood on his hand. It's great.
So much blood.
And this, with Emmy opening her eyes, that was literally an on the cuff day thing. She was just supposed to die in that, but then we were like, let's see what happens if she opens her eyes. And now that leads into possibly Emmy coming back.
Yeah, as you said.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah. Well, we talked about that earlier, didn't we?
But the audience doesn't know that.
No, of course they don't. So we'll mention it. Yeah. It's a secret.
See, this bit is different to what it is in the film, because we're technically getting a flash forward with a flashback in it, because this bit here is a scene from The Businessman, but because Businessman hadn't been released at this point, I wanted to show what happened to Carl and why he's a vampire now. So this was to go for this project, it was to show what had happened to Carl. And that makeup there is done by Gareth there when we shot it, and obviously it's supposed to be Robin here in context of the story, but it's actually me.
Actually someone else.
It's me, it's me. And then ironically we switch over now, and it's you biting my neck and the blood dribbling down my neck. Yeah. Because if you notice, the top's open, but now it's closed on Rob. Just a little bit of movie making magic there.
Yeah.
Well, I love these shots of the blood. I'm obsessed with blood. What can I say? And then the blood dripping on the floor.
You should try a Bloody Mary. They're quite nice.
No, I'm alright, thank you.
Not that I've got any vodka at the moment. Or tomato juice comes with that.
Talk about the movie, please. I love this shot with Paul.
Looking down.
With his airsoft gun, it's great. And the actual air that comes out. And with the final gear up, because these two, they are obviously friends already. Yeah. But when the group obviously shrinks from this point forward, these two become exceptionally close, because they are, while Andrew's still at home with your character anyway, these two essentially become the new romance of the group. Whereas Seth we won't mention. Seth has a role to play, that's all I'll say. But this epic shot of the slow-mo walking towards the camera, and boom.
Yeah, I love it.
To be continued in Warriors. And yet we've made 4 films since then. And what I wanted to do for this, because I didn't know if I was going to continue or not, is I wanted to list the whole cast. So I did this kind of bit of footage with the character portrait coming through, and I thought it worked really, really well.
Yeah.
This was because it was originally supposed to be just the portrait and the name, but I thought I'd splice the footage in as well, and I think it looks really well.
Really well, yeah.
Now Natalie's someone that is interesting for her role, because originally she was going to just be the body of a character, but then we couldn't find anyone to play the character, so she ended up coming and stepping in that role. But she did so well with it, we ended up adding more scenes for her, and she's probably like I'd say probably the main female lead, because you got to think, while Beth and Joanna are the main character at the beginning of the film, they're not the main focus throughout the film, whereas Sam is in it a lot more, so she becomes almost the centerpiece.
With Emmy-Lou.
And here we go, our post-credit scene.
Oh yeah.
I love this park. I know. Always going back to it.
Me too. We use it so many times.
I know. But there's now a canon reason why we use this bench so much, and it's because of the reshoots for Object Legacy. We've established this is their meeting up bench, really. And again, this is something you'll notice when we finally get to the proper version of the scene in Object Legacy is we've dubbed this scene already, so the audio will be 10 times better when we get to it. It may look a bit odd on the mouth, hopefully not, but it might do.
This scene I said doesn't really make any sense, because I was saying about I see you've drawn the order when now, because we've had to change it, I'm the actual one that recruits you.
You don't.
It's not quite.
Yes and no. Yeah. You say your actual word is, I see you've officially joined the crew.
Oh, right, okay.
And that's because he's looking at the tattoo.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Like the first mission I do is the infiltration. That's kind of like my initiation.
Yeah.
If I pass that, then I join the band. That you could take it either way. Like you could take it your way, that's a continuity error, or you could take it the way that I'm just kind of forcing in there, saying, yeah, he's just kind of tongue-in-cheek saying, oh, I see you finally made it.
Yeah.
But this is obviously a very important conversation, because not only are we talking about what's going to happen and how we don't know, how Jack doesn't know if he can kill Carl even though he's a vampire, but we have this conversation about Jack's father, who we know very little about, and if we may have met him or not
already.
Yeah, that's a conversation for a different day. And then obviously we've got this scene that sets up another film in the franchise, The Gathering, which sadly did get delayed, but it was the right call at the time, because not only were we working on Businessman and Object Legacy, but with Gathering I'd have had to find a whole new cast to play the vigilantes,
and it's hard enough to find a cast to keep in the current thing.
And there'd have been a lot of crossover as well. Like you'd have had the subplot of Gathering would have been, while Jack's kind of recruitment into the Warriors happens in Businessman and gradually over at Legacy, in Gathering you would have seen Mark/Fred's recruitment into the Warriors.
To the Warriors too.
And and obviously this is the reveal you say to yourself about, oh, it's my fault that I don't know.
I know.
Which we'll pay more attention to later in Final Report. That's all I'll say. I think that's one of the things that
I blame myself, even though it's not really my fault.
Yeah, but it was kind of one of the things. And then we go the full title, Anthology, The Shape of Things to Come.
Well, I think that that's a real salient point, though. These guilt
about the father, not someone else.
What other person? I know what you mean.
But yes, they were best friends. That's the thing. It's almost a bit like Obi-Wan and Anakin storyline a bit, like how one got corrupted and
the
other one didn't. But it wasn't even his choosing to be corrupted. He wasn't even in control of himself. Whereas Anakin, there was a choice there to kind of succumb to it. And there's one last scene. And it is. I like this shot as well. This one we did with Robin.
I know.
Because I just had this inkling that I wanted to bring Robin back at some point in the future, which is ironic because now, when we get past the first couple of movies of Warriors and hopefully move into the show, the first series villain is Nathaniel, because he becomes that big of a threat. He's been betrayed essentially by Carl, the vampire he sired. Who's essentially abandoned him and just left him
taken control.
So Nathaniel's now had to go into hiding for several years and kind of have to rebuild his ranks. So there's going to be this nice kind of rivalry between Carl, Carl the vampire, the two the women vampire enforcers, and Nathaniel. That's all I'll say on that. And that was The Shape of Things to Come.
And we hope you enjoyed it. And
do you have any final thoughts about the film?
I thought it was very good. I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought, because there were parts of that I'd forgotten about until I saw it again.
I still think I get why I made it, but Part of me is glad it's out, but part of me wishes I held back a bit, because again, it does reveal a lot of the ending of Object Legacy.
Yeah, there's a lot of spoilers in there.
Yeah.
But only if you really know what's going on.
Yeah, and that's the thing that probably is to its benefit, is because you don't have the context of not only The Businessman, which is now out now, so you do have context for it, but the first hour and 40 minutes of the Object Legacy to give you context for what's happening. It's not there, but in a way I'm glad it's out, because we have the context mainly of Mr. Myers being a member of the a retired retired
former
member,
leader of
the Warriors Order, and now we've got that information out there. There's a load more room to play around with that character. We can't just skirt around it anymore. We can just go, look, this happened. People know this happened because it's out in the general public, and we can actually add scenes in where we teeter towards that history. Like there's several scenes now with you and Frost that we couldn't do before, because obviously it would have revealed the secret, but now obviously we're here. So again, thank you very much for watching our video commentary for
and
the
putting up with us,
and putting up with us. Thank you so much.
I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one,
whichever it is.
Yeah, which will be real soon, I'm sure.
Bye.
Well, so farewell, and see you again soon. I'm off to have a drink now.
Eat your heart out, Gogglebox.
Now you're wild to get it right. No, I got it right!